quick tutorial on the new computer science curriculum platform that's currently being developed. I'm going to walk through this and sort of toggle between what it looks like as a curriculum writer, what it would look like as a teacher who's receiving this curriculum, and what it would look like as a student engaging with this curriculum. I'm also going to talk about it through the lens of our computer science program, but also periodically talk about what it would look like if all of Republic were to adapt this platform, and specifically the model that comes with this platform. To begin with, highest level view when you're logged in, you see the courses you're enrolled in. This would be true for a teacher, for a student, or for a curriculum writer. When you click on that course, you then are taken to a page that shows you the individual units that are associated with that curriculum. You also are able to, as a curriculum writer, upload sort of unit documents, like a unit plan or a unit assessment. As a teacher, you would be able to see those documents and decide whether or not your students see them as well. Into a unit, you see each individual lesson that is a part of this unit. Each lesson is going to then be, if you had a course that met twice a day, you might use two different lessons, one for the first part of one for the first period, one for a different period. As a curriculum writer, you can create lessons from here. You can also edit lessons from here as well if you need to. So you could take a lesson and say, I'm going to edit this lesson. You're really just editing the title of it. Everything that happens inside the lesson we'll go to now. So here is the major difference between the way that Rethink works and the way that this platform works. This platform is not designed around the idea that you're just uploading a PDF. The idea is that students are engaging with different sections of the lesson one at a time. So for example, right now we have a page where we're looking at a quick probably do now. So as a curriculum writer, I can edit and delete the questions that are here in this section. As a student, I would just be looking at the questions and there would be a submit button. So let's say I walk into class, here's our do now. So I say, no, I don't think so. And then I would click submit. I would come to the next question, answer, click submit. Come to the next question, click submit. The do now is over. My teacher maybe reviews these questions and then says move on to the next section. So here I have a totally different section. This isn't interactive. This is some information that's important for me to know. So I'm looking at it and I see we're talking about explicit versus ambiguous. As a student, I would get this information. You could have video embedded here. You could have pictures embedded here. Pretty much any multimedia content could be put here for me as a student to engage with. As a curriculum writer, I can obviously edit this section. So let's say that I wanted to upload an image. I would come here and upload that image. Let's say that I wanted to include a video. I would do the exact same thing. I could link to the video from YouTube or Vimeo. So this is significantly different, right? Instead of something that you just like print out and go with, you have something where the primary method of interacting with the material as a student is through the computer. As far as check for understandings go, you can see here you can create a short answer check for understanding, or you can create an open response check for understanding. We'll be adding even more flexible question types in the future, but these are the two main methods right now. As a curriculum writer, let's refresh the page and then create a new section here. Let's say I make it a CFU page. I can choose between multiple choice and open response. It's also important to note, I can decide whether or not the correct answers get shown to the student once they've submitted. So this may be like a really simple do now, and once the student has hit submit, I want it to show whether or not they got it wrong so that they can learn from their mistake. In another situation, it may be an exit ticket where I don't want them to see whether or not the answer was correct, so I would uncheck it. There's also a second feature that's being added right now, which determines whether or not each check for understanding section will count in a grade book, which we'll get to in a second. So this is, once again, the sort of major difference here between how we currently just upload a PDF. Here you have these different sections that you alternate between and engage with throughout the lesson. Now, talking about data, as a teacher, if I had this check for understanding opened up, then as students began answering the question, I would start to see in a box underneath here each student and whether or not they got it right or wrong, and it would be showing up in real time. So I could do a mid-lesson quick, check for understanding, and then immediately have on my screen, oh, here are the 12 students who missed it. So now during the independent practice section, that would probably be next, I would know which 12 students to go around to and support. If it was an open response question, instead of seeing that I got it wrong, right or wrong, I would just see a box with their answer. And I could sort of make the decision, I could click it and mark it as correct or not, and then use that same data to go around and provide support to students. So you've got this real-time data component that's built in that is really empowering for teachers because now you know exactly how students did, even in the middle of a lesson to target small group instruction or one-on-one instruction. Then lastly, what has not been built out but will be is a more comprehensive analysis page where you have a gradebook. Every assessment, every check for understanding that's marked as going in the gradebook will show up there. That's also what would push out to School Runner if it's a Republic course, by the way. And then you'll also have a couple of sort of analysis tools to see how students are doing based on objective, to see how students are doing based on assignment. And then ultimately, the final thing that will be built out that hasn't been built out yet is a way to see data from several different teachers teaching the same course if you're a curriculum writer. So anyways, that's a high-level summary right now of what the computer science platform looks like.